Thomas here with Much Props. Going to give you another how-to video. Today's a bit odd of a build, I guess you could say. I received a package in the mail the other day from Plaid Effects. It arrived on my doorstep and I read who it was from and was like, okay. As I opened it, there was this kit that had like a metal headband and some bat wings and a couple of colors of paint, and basically
throwing down the gauntlet to challenge me to build something amazing out of those things. Challenge accepted, Plaid.
I'm not going to build what you want me to build, which is probably something that looks like this. I'm going to build a dragon that'll sit on my head. Let's get to building. So this is the kit that I received in the mail, and it took me a few minutes of messing around with the contents within it to decide I was going to make a baby dragon. Still a cute idea, but with the danger of being bit or, setting your hair on fire. As most of you know, I am a Plaid ambassador, which means that from time to time I get sent products to test out every now and then. They booed me apparently, so this video is what I did with that boo. I could have carved the head out of a block of foam, but I figured I would use some things from two awesome makers instead. I bought this Evil Ted mold from Michaels, and the clay foam called Fomo is from Cosplay Apprentice. I just pushed the clay foam into the mold to pick up on all the details, and then bulked out the underside to later carve in the bottom of the dragon's head. I let it dry for about a day and a half before moving on. To make most of the rest of the body, I pulled out a plethora of EVA dowels in various thicknesses for this build. These were all bought online from TNT Cosplay Supply. I carved some chunks out of them to make the tail to a point, then sanded it into its final shape. I pushed a little bit of fencing wire into the neck and the tail sections to allow me to bend them and reposition them later if I wanted to. The head just pushes on to the end of the neck and is super glued into place, preferably the right way and not having to spin it around at the last second so that it doesn't permanently stick upside down. To give the wing more dimension, I split some more EVA dowels in various sizes and glued them to the ridges of the wings. Technically, this would be like the arm bones and fingers on a winged creature like a bat, which is kind of weird to think of anatomically when you compare it to a human. There are two approaches I could take here. One, cut slots to jam the wings into, or cut notches in the wings to fit the contours of its chest. I take my Dremel and go with the notch route. I simply hold it up where I want them to sit and mimic the lines from the chest to the wings. Then I contact cement the pieces together permanently. I do a quick Google search of some dragon legs to get a reference image and begin to bulk out the shapes and angles with some more EVA dowels. After gluing them together, I'll carve them out into their final shape. Using some scissors, I chop off big overhangs, then with my Dremel and a low grit sanding drum, I carve the legs into shape. Once I'm happy with how they look, I take a stone bit on my Dremel and smooth over the rough texture left by the coarse sandpaper. To add more detail, I take my wood burner and melt out lines for the underbelly, wrinkles on hands, feet, and wings, and redefine some of the facial features. Make sure to wear a respirator and work in a well-ventilated area while melting or sanding foam. You don't want to breathe in fumes or dust, neither are good for your lungs. I sealed the foam with a heat gun, then coated my baby boy with 2 coats of Plasti-Dip. My package came with Voodoo Violet and New Liberty Plat Effects acrylic paint, so I figured this could be the base colors for my dragon, almost like a Spearow or something. Of course, I need to dirty it up a little bit, so I added some brown and black to the paint scheme there. Then I added a little pink to the spotted areas throughout the dragon, and once it was all dry, I covered its belly with a layer of color-shifting dragonfly glaze to give a subtle shimmer. I was just going to glue the front paws to the headband, but at the last minute I thought it would be kind of cool if I made it detachable with some neodymium magnets. I drilled holes for the magnets to slot into, roughed up one of the sides with some sandpaper, and super glued them into place. Now my baby dragon can hang out on my headband or attach to other random metal objects. And we are finished. Here is the end result. Overall, I think it turned out pretty adorable for my little baby dragon. Not too bad. I didn't want to go with what I figured they wanted, which was just to glue these to the headband and make something cutesy, so I went a different route and made something cutesy, but an actual full creature. And why not a dragon? Because who doesn't love a little baby dragon squatting on their head? I do like the idea of putting the magnets on the paws, and because I painted it silver on the bottom, it kind of blends in just a little bit. But it makes it to where it easily snaps on, and you can position it however you want. And if you don't want it to be there, you can put it on something metal like a fridge or something else, because the feet and everything on it is made out of foam, so it's relatively flexible. But yeah, maybe you'll try and make one of these adorable dragons yourself so that it can perch proudly on the top of your head in triumph over a challenge to build something. Maybe you'll get some.
Yay!
And inevitably, they're going to ask you, how'd you make that? You can give them one of these. Tell them, much props. So I put the headband on like so, and take my baby's feet and put it on like so. When you hear the snap, you know you're secure, and peace out.